Today's video is being sponsored by the NHL. EA Sports, it's in the game. Hey, my name is Weekly Shonen, and this is the start of the big three reviews. We got Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, and One Piece to go over. And I know One Piece is on break next week, but we're gonna figure out a way to just keep these pushing, because now that these are finally releasing on the same day, I can actually start reviewing all three. We're gonna get into Jujutsu Kaisen 164 first, because it's a quick chapter. Not a lot happens in retrospect, but it's fun anyway. We got the official Higuruma versus Yuji fight happening. You can guess because he's a lawyer and because he's got the scales behind him that it would have to do with the courtroom, but not at all did I realize how his power is actually gonna work. So just a disclaimer, I did make a whole review for the previous chapter, or the one before that. Trying to figure out, who was gonna be the liar in the situation. Was it gonna be the girl that was with Fushiguro? Was it gonna be the girl that was with Megumi, or was it gonna be the guy who was with Yuji? And I guessed that it was gonna be the guy, but I also thought that it was gonna be like a double, where both of them were gonna be lied to. And the girl, I thought she was gonna be lied to. She was gonna be lying to Megumi because she was trapped in the situation and she had no choice, whereas the kid was gonna lie to him just because, also, why not? But wasn't a lie. Man got Yuji right here in front of the next person. The pattern of let's meet someone important and have Yuji fight them into submission continues. It's like the second or third time this has happened this arc. Technically only the second, because Yuta wasn't bad at all. He was just following an order and taking advantage of the system. But side note aside, I didn't know what to expect from this fight here. And other than that, Yuji's gonna fight him, and at the end of it, Higurama's gonna become an ally. He's gonna see that Yuji's actually a good kid, and he's gonna become an ally. Seeing as though he was a lawyer that turned crazy because of the times. Well, not turned crazy, but Higurama doesn't seem like a bad guy when we got that flashback or that introduction with him. So I'm not really expecting him to go in for the kill, which is awesome because his force domain doesn't actually try to kill. We get a quick explanation from Kenjaku, who I guess is talking to Choso and the woman that's inside the room with him, I forget her name, about how domains back in the day used to be sure hit, sure kill, and they were much more common because of that. And now that they're not so common, it's because everyone focuses on the sure kill factor, and which is weird because I haven't seen any sure kill domains. I can't remember any sure kill domains other than Gojo. But Gojo isn't sure kill. He's just so strong that any of his sure hit seems like it's a sure kill. I don't know, but yeah, Higurama gives Yuji three options here, because he's like, well, now you're under suspicion of sneaking into this casino, or this game shop that is 18 and over, and so you have three options between silence, confession, and denial. And Yuji ponders for so long, he racks his smooth ass brain for a while, and then he still ends up picking the wrong thing, which is funny, pretty damn funny. What's not funny though is that his guilty plea, or since the judgment man finds him guilty, he confiscates all his cursed energy. And Yuji even says, that's like my bread and butter. How the hell am I gonna do anything right now? And that's where the chapter ends. Quick chapter, relatively speaking, because all that really happens is one move from Higurama and a bunch of explanation, which I'm not mad at. I like the explanations because sometimes these powers do take a minute for me to click. But it just sucks when I look back at the chapter and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe 30 seconds have gone by if you were to animate this whole thing. But, nonetheless, that's pretty much the end of the chapter. We got, I want to say 2 more chapters of this fight, unless there's a twist. Unless Higurama is turned next chapter, I see this going in the way of Yuji's gonna have another turnaround moment at the end of the next chapter, and then the chapter after that, 166, will be, the full, okay, this is the resolution of the fight, this is the conclusion of the fight. But other than that, Only way I see it extending is maybe if we just go back to Fushiguro or Megumi. Sorry. What is that? I'm not even gonna. Sorry. There's a bunch of dust on my. Oh, that's not dust. That's the light coming in. Wow. It's morning, guys. I'm sorry. Afternoon. Official release is out. So, yeah. I like Higurama's power here. I don't know how Yuji's gonna overcome it. You know, pretty sure he can just punch his way out of any situation, but it just doesn't seem like he has really a way out other than, you know, knocking out this guy. I just don't get it. I just don't get how Yuji's supposed to get out of this one. I really don't. But I'm looking forward to it. I want them to already. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I just want to get to the point in this arc where we've rounded up all the people and we're going to the place. So that is Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm so happy I get to do multiples. This is great. So that was Jujutsu Kaisen 164. Now we're gonna get right into My Hero 332, and what I think is the not what I think, but what is the climax of this battle between Shigaraki AFO and Star and Stripe. And the way this chapter started out really psyched me out, because you get the whole bottom of this page like, I wonder if it's because you're a woman, Cassie. And I was like, oh, I even tweeted about it, like, you know, Horikoshi's about to do this, like he's about to dive into this. And then the next page is just like the subvert, like what a load of crap from her partner, which is cool. I like the camaraderie between them. It doesn't feel like they're just fodder airplane pilots or fodder pilots. I don't know, but it feels like they're part of her team. Like she actually has a family within these guys. It's not just random guys that are shooting, you know, missiles for her. They don't feel like fodder. You know, we don't get a name, so they are fodder. But with how much she's been collaborating with them this entire fight, and especially in this chapter, it does not feel like they're just like people who can die immediately. I mean, Shigaraki can make them people who can die easily, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's like the fact that we've seen them make multiple moves and combos with her, just goes to show that this is a real strong team that she has. This is the best of the best, and they're not. If they weren't this good, then that first blast Shigaraki, like, you know, sent at them would have probably done them in. But they're really good pilots, and they've survived this long. Hopefully they continue to survive, because I don't know what Star and Stripe's deal is at the end of this chapter. I just know it's not looking good for her. So yeah, there we start off the chapter, you know, just a quick flashback, and I never feel good about these flashbacks. I've said this last time, but and I didn't put this review out because just wasn't, the quality of the video was not like transferred over. Long story, but this fight is very similar to Deku versus Lady Nagant, because, I mean, now we're getting the flashback at the perfect time too. But it just seems like this is the fight that they both have to win to secure their 100% power increase, you know, to prove to themselves and to everyone else that they are at 100%. And this is like the last, not milestone, but the last obstacle they have to overcome. Even like, you know, even though there weren't like a list of things, but you know, this is just, you know, they're big bad in the beginning of the arc for them, so that they can, you know, continue forward and go into the rest of this arc as 100%. You know, I'm not gonna get, you know, I am gonna get stronger. There's gonna always be one of those power ups at the end of the last fight or whatever that does, you know, one over the other. But just to go into this arc going, no, it's 100%. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. We're ready to go at any time. And what I was hoping, and I'm still hoping for, is that this fight would directly parallel Deku versus Lady Nagant, in the sense that, you know, Deku beat Lady Nagant, and before he could, you know, get her away, he got some info out of her, but AFO was there to steal the win from them, blow her up, and not make it feel like a win at all. I'm hoping that Deku pops up last minute, or I was hoping, because you'll see at the last page, but I was hoping that Deku would pop up last minute. You know, Star and Stripe would be dead or dying, confirmed to be like, that's it, she's not gonna make it. And then, or almost confirmed, because the same thing with Lady Nagant, right? Like, it's like up in the air still on whether or not she's dead. or where like she's probably like in ICU on life support or whatever. But I was hoping the same thing would happen here with Star and Stripe, because that way you can have Deku swoop in and be like, you're not gonna take her power though. You can, she's probably never gonna be able to fight the same way again, but you're not gonna take her quirk. I'm gonna stop that from being your win. You're only gonna get half a W here. But with the way that she just like lets herself, maybe she knows something. Maybe this is a psych out, and she's like, you know what? Actually, I've already put like a thing on myself so that even if you touch me, I'm good. Even though we didn't see that, we would have seen the rule that said that. But I was just hoping for that. But honestly, as disappointed as I am in my theory not being true right now, I am very happy with what we got from Shigaraki, because, man, it's hard not to root for him. Only reason it's easy to not root for him is because I know that AFO is in control and I fucking hate AFO. But Shigaraki and Deku are just like not perfect parallels, but like they're written in a way that they are the heroes of whatever chapter that they're taking center stage in. Because Shigaraki's here and he's just like, yo, we all have to. He's like monologuing, like, yo, she's doing this, she's setting up for that. And it just makes me feel like he's the hero. He's the protagonist. Like, I want to see how he gets out of the situation, because he's clearly being held down by all these lasers. She's like, all right, on my mark, before like, I set down this god hand into this dude's already burning body, because we've already got him pinned with lasers. I'm gonna let go of these lasers. I want the rest of the team to focus on him, and then I'm gonna strike him one last time. Even though this is all set up from Star and Stripe and her crew, and she's meant to be like the All Might of America, I don't fucking feel like she's the hero of this chapter. I don't feel like I'm supposed to be rooting for her. I'm just waiting for something very tragic to happen to her, which just sucks. But because I don't ever like seeing AFO win, but and I love her power. She's really like, especially in this like atmosphere giant form. She reminds me of what's the guy's name from Bleach? Gerard Valkyrie. That's what it is. I love her power. She's like this giant. She looks like a damn god. She's holding this lightning spear, or I guess this laser spear. And she's immediately, she lets go of one and then gets like a nuke in front of her, and she's ready to pound Shigaraki with it. And even though she does all of that, and that's all cool, I don't care, because Shigaraki's at 100% and he's able to tank all of this. We get a quick shot of Endeavor around the area, which makes me think Deku should be around, because they should be together. Even though Deku's supposed to be resting right now, this should be enough time between Star and Stripe's arrival in Japan and the rest of the hero organization in Japan being notified, oh, Shigaraki's making a move. Because if Endeavor's here, I don't think he's just around the same area patrolling, It has to be that he was on his way, he's like in the area looking, and he sees this. I'm expecting someone to be there. Maybe it is set up, instead of for like a Deku to come in and save the moment, maybe it is set up for Endeavor to actually have a hero moment, because I've been thinking about it, man, and the fact that Star and Stripe can go basically toe-to-toe 1v1 or 1v6 with Shigaraki without any other heroes present, makes me think like, damn, Endeavor there really is a gap between him and the number one spot. Endeavor is strong as hell. He's an elite hero of a separate class, but it doesn't seem like he's on the same level as Star and Stripe or All Might. Like that's a completely different tier of people. So that might make sense why he's staying back. But dude, all the Shigaraki shots that we have in this chapter are fucking menacing, and I wish these came out on Halloween instead of the Sunday after Halloween, man, because this is just really nice. All of these are so creepy. No shot of him is like full face, and even you can see his face regenerating, and I didn't realize how quick he regenerates until this chapter. But you can see him all regenerating, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna put that quirk to better use. All of these shots are creepy as shit. I feel bad for Star and Stripe here, because at the end of the chapter, the very last page, she gets touched, and I don't see any, from what I can see, right? I don't see any crackling. So either, whoa, chill out, that's too much. So either we just got the shot of the second that it touched, and it hasn't started, Shigaraki hasn't started disintegrating her yet, or Shigaraki just paused real quick. You know, he's in control now. You know, AFO made the final move for him, but and reached out and touched her, but Shigaraki made the decision that no, she's not going to get disintegrated right away. It's like a hesitation type of thing. And then that'll be the moment where someone can swoop in. I'm really trying to save this theory right now because I want that to be true. I need that perfect parallel. and maybe there's another way to make it happen and I'm just not seeing it. But I just really want these two fights, Deku's first fight and Shigaraki's first fight this arc, to end in a very similar way. Because that way, if we can get Deku and Shigaraki on the field at the same time, just to have like a standoff moment, like we're not, you know, I might need a retreat right now because I'm a little broken. I'm a little tired from this fight. I don't have enough to completely take you on yet, but you know, get like a little a stare off type of thing. That'd be cool. Don't know if it's gonna happen though because it seems like she's done. Unless, you know, this is just AFO touching her to take her power, her quirk from her, and not disintegrate her. Yeah, maybe he's like, you know, I gotta take her power before I can disintegrate her. And maybe that's how it happens, right? He gets the power, but he doesn't get the satisfaction of killing her because Deku swoops in and saves her, or Endeavor swoops in and saves her. I don't know if I want that to happen though. I don't know if I need AFO having the ability to control the atmosphere. I don't want that because then then it becomes too similar to Bleach, where you create a final villain who can only be beaten through bullshit. I don't want a type of win like that. I'm okay with there being a win similar to something like, you know, AFO and Deku are going toe to toe, and you know, Deku kind of just needs like a slither of a second just to of an opening basically, and Shigaraki's able to provide that because at that point he realizes, hey, I'm being used. I wasn't, you know, AFO didn't ever cater to me because he understood me as a person. He actually created the horrible situation I was in for his own benefit, and now I don't fuck with him. And the reason why I think that's gonna happen is gonna be like a change of heart. It's not because, you know, Shigaraki needs to be saved by the end of this, but because you kind of get that one scene at the last episode of season 5 where the doctor kind of explains to Shigaraki, like, oh yeah, you know, this is not, he doesn't fully explain AFO's plan, but he's just like, this is what AFO is trying to do, and Shigaraki has that hesitant moment of like, what? Right before he goes in. And it seems like Shigaraki's having second thoughts there. And I feel like that's also what's happening in this fight, is AFO kind of triggered a memory back in Shigaraki, because you did get that you know, here's my memory, and then right when that happened, his hair grew. So I'm thinking Shigaraki's somewhere still in there, like not conscious, but he's also experiencing the same memories that AFO's talking about. And whenever he does experience the ones that remind him of his own memory, like, you know, whenever their two flashbacks intersect, it's Shigaraki realizing that AFO's actually been playing him this whole time, and that rage is being manifested outward. But since AFO's in control, he's able to use the rage to his own benefit rather than Shigaraki just lashing out. So I feel like that's the only good way to have a super OP AFO let loose on the field and then defeating him, would be if Shigaraki's like, oh no, I'm gonna take control now, like I'm gonna hold you back real quick, yada yada yada. I don't want that to be the case. I want it to be like Naruto Sasuke Part 2, where it's like them just battling it out for a day straight. You know, Deku's just like, ready to die, and so is Shigaraki. And then AFO comes in like, I got you now, and he goes in for like the last kill, and Shigaraki holds him back. And then when that moment when he's frozen, Deku's like, ugh, Universal Smash. I wonder what his last smash is gonna be. I wonder if it's gonna be a Detroit Smash, it's gonna be a United States of Smash, a World Smash. I don't know. Earth Smash. I don't know, man. But there has to be a new power there, right? He has to end the fight with something new. He doesn't have to, but I'd like it to. Either way, that's My Hero 332. Really excited to see what happens next chapter. I hope that she's saved. She has to be saved, right? There's no way that they're gonna kill Star and Stripe, right? Like she put in too much work for her to just be introduced for the sole purpose of having her quirk stolen and being killed by AFO. It'd be super disrespectful to her. But I also don't want her to be you know, to turn into like this shell of who she was. You know, she's introduced just to have her powers taken, and even though she doesn't die, she's gonna like be nerfed automatically. I just don't want her quirk to be taken. I like her a lot, and you know, I'm guessing her quirk either has to be taken from her or she has to be put out of commission for the last fight to be winnable. Because if you have her on the field with Deku and all the other heroes, only way that I see AFO not immediately losing that fight is if he throws all the extra Nomu out there and he has his own army, which he does, you know. But I just don't want her to be nerfed. I want her to be around for the final fight. Lady Nagant too. I want them both to be around, but you know, we'll see what Horikoshi has to do with it. I like the way that he's been spinning these things so far, so we'll see. And we're getting into the best chapter of the week, best chapter of possibly the year right here. Nah, but it's a good contender for sure. Not My Hero, One Piece 1031, which dude, it's a cool psych out that we got here with the cover page. You got all the first Yonko commanders, and then Zoro looking at his sword, but this is a Sanji chapter. This is not a Zoro chapter at all. But pretty damn cool. I love it that kid is just like you know, hold that real quick. You know, that was what we got. Let's see how you could bring that back up. And you got some of the fodder here who don't understand how a manga works, saying that not even Big Mom could survive that. Which kind of tells you how strong the attack was, because they've seen some shit. They've been able to understand everything that's happening in front of them is out of their boundary, but out of their strength level. But they're understanding that, you know, that's such a powerful attack that would even hurt a Yonko. And I guess it did hurt her, because she comes back and she's like, I need some more life energy. And I wonder if, you know, the fodder saying that here means that technically that did kill Big Mom, but Big Mom's soul focus fruit is so strong that, you know, instead of killing her, the equivalent of killing her is just taking years out of her life. So maybe this attack was so strong that it shaved a few years off of her life, or shaved a few souls that she had. What if Big Mom can just do that normally? She has to be able to do that. Like, you can trade off years of her life to her actual lifespan to make herself stronger. But there has to be a limit there, right? She can't be able to just like take souls, because at that point she would just be like a Shinigami from Death Note. She'd be like, oh, how many years do you have life left? 40? I'm gonna take those 40 and then add it to my time span, or my lifespan, because then she'd be able to live forever. Technically, she could just continue to take souls. But maybe there's a trade-off. Maybe she has her natural lifespan and she's taking off a year for that, and then what she takes from other people is just like her power to distribute souls. It's not actually for her. It's for her strength, but it's not for her lifespan. Her lifespan stays the same, or gets reduced. It can't be added to. Hoping that's the case. But I'm also, you know, I'm not mad if she can technically live forever, right? She just gets older and more decrepit. It's not youth, but she can live longer. She can go into like 1,000 years, but she won't stop aging physically, but she'll be able to live long, so long as she keeps taking souls. That's a pretty good question that I think we should all address in the comments below. But no, she goes for Oshiruko or life for Oshiruko, and the fucking fodder are just like, they're panicking while their souls are coming out. I didn't realize this. They're all just like, do we have enough? Do we have any? And everyone's like, no, we don't. And then as they're like debating and trying to figure out whether they're already like, you can see it coming out of them. And that, I think that's because Big Mom knew. She was just like, I know I ate all this shit. I know you guys spilled the rest of it. I know exactly the stock of Oshiruko in this building right now. So I'm asking you a question that I know the answer to, because I need your lifespans right now. This is not a debate. And which is sad for them, because they died trying to figure it out. But Napoleon comes back to life. Kid-in-law was strong enough to knock the souls out of her for a quick second, even if only temporary, and even though kind of to no effect here, because she comes right back up and she gets even bigger now. But yeah, this stature, this image of Kid-in-law, oh my god, beautiful. They're just like, yo, she's taking them serious. It's like Big Mom is now going through with what the same thing that Kaido's going through on the roof with Luffy, where she's like, I see that you're serious. I'll take you seriously, but you better be ready. and they're like, we're ready. We're trying to fuck you up. And Law seems like he has a little less resolve here. He's just like, well, I just kind of want to figure out the history, so I need to get rid of you. And Kid's like, fuck that, I'm getting rid of you. I'm tearing you right from your throne. You know, this is whatever you want me to do, I'm about to do it. Which is cool. We get back to the Iwato chamber with Scratchman, Apu, and Hawkins. And I really don't care for this. Don't care for this at all. Unless, you know, this becomes integrated with like CP0 or something like that. There's only one thing I care about in this scene here with Drake and Apu. And that is not Yamato coming through and casually one-shotting Drake. It is Mr. Fuga over here, one of the last 3 numbers, reacting to Yamato. And the only reason this, you know, interests me is because last chapter when these 3 numbers were introduced, someone on Twitter pointed out that they look just like the 3 who were imprisoned with Yamato when she was younger. And I don't know if she realizes that they're the same people. She hasn't acknowledged it at all, so maybe she doesn't realize it, or maybe they just look similar on coincidence. But the fact that she runs away and she's like, yo, I've cut ties with Kaido, I'm not on your side, I have to dip. And the number who looks, well, not looks like, but the number who's supposed to be representative of the Shimotsuki that was with Yamato is the first to react, and it runs after her. And even Apu even acknowledges that, right? Like he reacts, busts through, and starts chasing her down. And I don't think that's because Yamato is like an enemy now. I feel like that's because he still has some type of memory of Yamato when she was younger, and you know, there's some type of consciousness there. And so he's like, well, I'm gonna follow you now. Like you're trying to break out, I got you. I'm behind you. And which is gonna kind of prove that these are the same 3 people, and they just went through like gigantification, which is pretty damn cool. Although pretty damn sad too, because it's probably going to be a situation similar to Jujutsu Kaisen's Shibuya arc, where, you know, Megumi ran into his dad and, you know, he didn't really acknowledge until the very end. It'll probably be this thing too. It'd be really sad if, you know, like Zoro's dad or grandpa or whatever, you know, the connection is there, is right next to him, or Zoro has to just like slice him up real quick. I don't know how I'm gonna react to that interaction if it does happen. Bars, damn. But I don't know how I'm gonna react to this next section either, because Robin just keeps calling him Baron Corpse. No, because he got CP0, man, and I don't want Robin to be taken again. But it seems like it's happening. This is no longer a lurking thing. CP0 is no longer just staying in the background. They're making their move, and they're trying to do it quickly while, you know, the scene is the most chaotic, and I'm not a fan. I mean, you know, it's good for story, but I just don't want her being taken again. I really need Robin to be protected, or to go apeshit again. One of the two. But it seems like she's running away from the CP0 because she knows she's not about to take these 2 down. Her and Brooke are not about to be able to do it. And I don't know who else on the field is going to be able to, you know, just handle two agents that are in a class of their own right now. So they run away. And then we get to Sanji. Poor Sanji. The best part of this chapter right here. It is the best part, but it's icing on the cake, because the rest of this chapter was already phenomenal. But with Sanji here, oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. I cannot even begin to express my gratitude for what we got here. Sanji's running away, or we get back to him, and he's like in the middle of being scolded by some of the geisha girls. And it's weird too, because he ran to this section not because he was being perverted, but because he was just trying to, you know, collect himself. It's not like Sanji decided in the middle of a fight to go to the pleasure hall, you know, try to catch a sneak peek. He's just, you know, dealing with his own thing, and they ended up here. But, you know, we cut to him we start off with him getting scolded by these women because apparently he beat one and he can't remember. And it's wild. It's very wild. I don't think it was Sanji at all. And there's no reason for Sanji, even as a heartless human being, to just beat up a woman to test out whether or not he's heartless, right? But dude, what we got after that, because of this, we got 2 subversions. Sanji pulls out the raid suit. You think he's gonna use it. He smashes on the ground. He's not gonna use it. And then on top of that, he gives a call to Zoro. Dude, this call between Sanji and Zoro is elite, bro. bro. Zoro's in the middle of his fight with King, and he's just like, you're bothering me. What the hell do you want? And Sanji's like, well, if after this fight I'm not myself, I want you to put me down. And Zoro doesn't like to show that he cares, but he clearly shows that he cares in this one, because he's like, I'll make it quick. And part of that's a fucking brag, because Zoro's like, yeah, I can make it quick. Like, I'm actually stronger than you. If I need to kill you, it's not going to be a drawn-out battle. I'm going to fuck you up real quick. I got you. I've been waiting for this day. I've been waiting for you to tell me, to give me the order or something like that, to have a reason to kill you. And, but, you know, we all know that this is just Zoro going like, I got your back, bro. You know, this is them having a bro moment, not at all Zoro just like, yeah, you know, he doesn't really want to kill Sanji. Which sets us up for a great moment afterwards, right? When Sanji, he is changed after the battle, but he's not changed for the worse. He's changed for like the better. He's a more complete character now. And then he gets to go up to Zoro afterwards, and he's like, you know what, thanks for holding it down back there. And Zoro goes, yo, you're not the same person, bro. I'm gonna fucking kill you. He's like, you know, you're acting too nice right now. This is so out of character for you. You told me to kill you if you acted differently. And then he goes to try and kill Sanji. Sanji's like, what the hell is wrong with you? You know, we're basically just setting up that gag real quick. He's not gonna die, but it feels like, you know, Sanji's going through this moment of just like, I really don't know what's gonna happen next, so I need you to back me up on this. And Zoro kind of gives him the motivation of like, you better not die on me then. Like, if you want me to kill you later, you can't die now. And that's just Zoro showing that he cares. And then we get this new, you know, Sanji vanishes. I think that's him vanishing. I don't think that's Sanji disappearing because he's moving so fast. I think that is Sanji actually vanishing into thin air, and then catching Queen with the what's it called? With the flank. He says, stop stoking the fire, I'm already white hot. So maybe black leg Sanji's gonna turn into white leg Sanji. He's gonna have white hot flames. It would make sense, you know. I don't see any reason for black leg Sanji to turn into Amaterasu like Sanji. I think, you know, it makes more sense for his flames to be white hot, because these are the wings of the Pirate King. You know, they should be emitting light, not darkness. We're supposed to have light wash over Wano and whatnot, and yada yada yada. Themes are a thing, so let's keep those going. Color association and whatnot. But yeah, shout out to Zoro being able to hold it down while on the phone with Sanji. It's just, I don't know why this Sanji moment makes Zoro look even cooler, because it's him also going, I'm not gonna tell you I care about you, but I'm gonna like, you know, give the readers something to go off of, which makes me a little more happier. I'm more of a Zoro fan than Sanji, but I don't hate Sanji at all. I love Sanji too. But it's just funny how this moment, you know, starts off as a great moment for Sanji and kind of ends with it being a great Zoro Sanji moment, like a perfect unity thing. And I absolutely love that. As for what's gonna happen next chapter, I think this is probably gonna be the ending of Queen versus Sanji if they don't switch over. I'm hoping that, you know, just finish it up now. Finish up Queen versus Sanji, and then finish up Zoro versus Sanji the chapter after that, and then we go to Kaido versus Luffy. And then maybe pair that with Law and Kid versus Big Mom. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've got. 3 amazing chapters this week. We already know which is the winner. This is arguably the chapter of the fucking year right now. Like, this is a contender for that. Even if you don't think this is chapter of the year, you still have to consider it when looking through all the chapters that came out this year. Just because it's one of the greatest moments for Sanji, and he's been eating. Like, Zoro's been eating this year alone. He's been eating in Wano in general, and you know, we got Rooftop Zoro, obviously, but like, the fact that we also have a Sanji chapter this arc that can contend with that in terms of feat, not even just like, you know, raw power and strength and, you know, like showing how strong he is, but just like in terms of how hype it is for his character. Amazing. One Piece 1031 over the next 3 chapters of both of these other manga. No, but really it is that way though. Next week we're gonna have to get creative on what One Piece content will be like. I haven't watched the last 2 episodes, or maybe episode and a half. Well, episode 998 and 999 I guess are gonna be out at this time next week. So I'll watch those 2 and then give a quick analysis instead. But anyway, that's my review. My name is Weekly Shonen, and yeah, signing out. Thanks for watching.
That's right. Go crazy, go crazy, go crazy, no crazy, no crazy, no crazy,